Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today what I have for you is a showcase of Epic Cards and Games Tuesday night box tournament. They put this tournament on every single week, definitely the best prize support in my local area to come to, especially on a weekly basis. So I should have a video that I'm going over for this shop's tournaments every single week, so I hope to bring you guys at least one gameplay video like this every single week, or more if you guys want to see more. We see Tim on Dragoncraft. I know he only has a couple of set 2 cards in his list right now. Still feeling more like set 1 ramp Dragoncraft, which is fine. Still strong deck. And then Vincent is playing an aggro Abyss deck. So Tim went first and ramps on turn 2. Something about that always feels a little bit kind of bad, just because you know you're taking face damage and you kind of like desperately want to follow up with a Dragon Warrior if you can. Especially if Vincent put 2 bodies on board, you know, like a couple of goblins would be really scary. But he only has a skeleton fighter right now. I was thinking about playing... Oh, there you go. Yeah, always attack first if you can before you put other bodies on the board. So he attacks the skeleton fighter, and he's going to then play... Oh, right. Good point. Looks like he's going to play the mini Soul Devil, which is a new card in set 2 that says whenever you evolve, during your turn, both leaders take 2 damage, which is pretty nice because it's a 3-2. So once Tim takes 2 damage, he would then take 3 to the face, most likely. Tim, looking at his hand, I don't think it looks too great, but yeah, he looks like he's probably going to end up playing. Okay, you get a shapeshifting mage, 2 bell ringers, I think a forte in there, and a Zernitra, I think. But most likely he's going to end up playing that bell ringer to ping the mini Soul Devil. Yep. Yeah, he went ahead and deducted 3 play points. Going to ping the mini Soul Devil, and he's probably going to... Yeah, well, yeah, I think that's all of his play. No, he's at 4. He's at 1 more, so he could play another bell ringer right now as well. I think you might as well. Yeah, you might as well. I don't think it's going to get any more value than it would be right now. You know, there's times in which you might want to save it, like if you're playing the Dragon Mirror and you want to, you know, save it as a counter to Gen Dragon, you know, put them on Gen Dragon, have Blazing Breath. But in this case, might as well just play it. So now Vincent's going to draw. Turn 3, going second for Abyss is pretty scary because they have a lot of strong evolves. So he's going to attack with Skeleton Fighter into 1 bell ring already. Yep. He's probably going to play the Playful Necromancer. Yeah, so he's going to evolve it, summon 3 ghosts, and he's gonna attack that bell ringer and just take 3 to the face. This is the whole game plan. Nothing fancy with aggro Abyss here. So 3 skeleton bodies, or ghost bodies, sorry. Yeah, attack the bell ringer. Tim's gonna draw another card. So it's not too bad for him. He's only taking 3 damage, or sorry, 5 damage total. But he's drawn a couple cards deeper into his deck. So like I said, if he can get into something like a Dragon Warrior here, that is pretty standard. You're kind of just skating by until you can get overflow active. Just want to make sure you're at 0 points, because that's when you really start to take control back. Get used to that. So Tim's gonna draw. Looks like he drew a Serpent Wraith. He has Serpent Wraith, Shape-Shifting Mage. I think a Forte's in there. I didn't see a Dragon Warrior, so that's not that great for him. But I think if he has that Zernitra, what he's end up going to be doing, what he ends up doing here is something there's Zernitra on 5, which isn't horrible. It's just not free, and it still leaves him with 2 bodies to have on board for Vincent to deal with. Yeah, so Tim's thinking about it. Most likely he's going to end up playing Zernitra. I like Zernitra. I have a love-hate relationship with that card because usually whenever my hands are slow or not very good, like Tim's right here is not too great, usually Zernitra is a contributor to that, and so I always take her in and out whenever I choose to play Dragoncraft. So Vincent actually a relatively new player. And new to the community, so I think you'll see him reading a lot of cards here throughout the match. Okay, so he's going to attack over the Playful Necromancer, and then he's going to pass to Vincent. So Vincent luckily gets to keep a Skeleton Fighter, which, I mean, every bit of chip damage matters. Draws a Cerberus, which is easily the best card in this deck for sure. Now he goes up to 4 play points, and you see here he has a Phantom Howl, which is very nice. I think he had another Playful Necromancer, which is very strong as well. one of those ghosts can trade into that dragon, which feels great. But let's see what he ends up doing here. Okay, so he does summon the Playful Necromancer. Goes down to 1 play point. He has the option to pay the evolve. Okay, no, he's going to use the evolve point. So he's going to evolve for free. Going to have 1 play point left. Summons his 3 ghosts again. And now he has a decision whether he wants to trade one to the dragon. He could actually trade all ghosts into Tim's board, which is really strong, honestly. Okay, so he's going to trade 1 into the dragon. I completely agree with that, for sure. Now, do you trade them into the Zernitra, or are you trading them just into face? Okay, trade into Zernitra. I mean, you can't knock the guy for that. It's totally free. He tries to attack with the Playful Necromancer. You obviously can't. And he hits with the Skeleton Fighter. Maybe just getting confused from his last Playful Necromancer. So he actually passes on 1.
Oh, sorry, we'll do that.
But he has a Goblin in his hand. I don't think... I'm not sure what he... I don't know. Maybe bluffing a goodness, I can't even think about it right now. The 1 cost that pops when your followers draws 2. Soul Conversion. There you go. I don't know. I don't think it's worth bluffing that if that's what he was going for. I think you should just absolutely just play the Goblin, you know, if you have it. It puts a lot more pressure on, and Tim is going into 6 play points. So maybe you're scared of Conflag. That might. I mean, that's fair. Okay, so if that's what he's going for, I totally understand that. But I think I personally would have just kind of spit it out. It looks like Tim actually might have a couple of executions in his hand too, I think. I don't know. There's those little plastic holders you see in front of our players. That's for your hands to go. Neither of these guys are using it, which is fine. So it's just a little bit hard for me to see the cards. Okay, so Tim is going to play the Shapeshifting Mage, pay 3 play points total, evolve it, and he's going to crash into the Playful Necromancer. Yeah, you don't want to eat 4 damage. That's a little bit too much when you're at 13. Now, Tim's at the point now where he needs to start being really, really conservative and defensive, making sure that he doesn't have to take too much more, because 13 is already really scary for Abyss. So Tim actually passes on 3 play points. Like we saw before, he does have Serpent Wraith in his hand, so he does have 1 form of defense and 5 damage. Unfortunately, he's not in Overflow yet, though, so he's not going to draw for it, so it doesn't feel as good. But Vince is now on 5 play points, so he can summon the Cerberus and start buffing the Skeleton Fighter. I don't think you do that here, though, because you know, if Dragon passes on 3, you gotta be expecting something. And Skeleton Fighter also only has 2 defense. So okay, so he is gonna play the Forte. He's going to bring out, I think what he does here is he puts out the buff 2. I will never remember which one, Mimi or Coco, does what. I just say the buff 2 and then -2. Yeah, so he does put out the... I think he actually did 2. Yeah, so 1... yeah, 2 of the buff 2 and 1 of the -2.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's see if he ends up wanting to buff anything here. Okay, so he's actually... Yeah, well, duh, of course, he needs to put out the... He forgot to put out the Evolved Cerberus. So that would be a crazy fanfare if it was just on play. Alright, so he's just going to attack just with the Skeleton Fighter. I totally agree with that. Oh, it looks like he might be thinking, actually. Does he want to buff? Oh, no, Tim's thinking. Okay, yeah, Tim is thinking right now if he wants to do anything to stop that attack. Like I said, this is when you're totally needing to be defensive a little bit with your health. So, yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds. So, it looks like he is playing this Serpent Wraith, but he is going to hit the Cerberus, which, yeah, I mean... if you got to get rid of it at any point, that's probably the best time, because otherwise those 3 play points just don't feel nearly as good just hitting a normal 2/2 Skeleton Fighter. So Tim draws into Ayala. Now in Overflow, looks like he has an Archangel Reina. So Archangel Reina, Ayala, I think that's a Forte and a couple executions. Or I don't know if those are a couple executions or they're just 2 Fortes. Some kind of mix of those in his hand. But it looks like he's thinking about playing Reina, and he's trying to do that Reina math where he figures out, okay, I got to pay 4 to use summon this, another 1 to evolve it, and I'll recover, looks like 2 on his side over there. Archangel Rain is a new card in set 2. I really like the card. I think it's really fun. I think, I mean, I had a lot of instances where I recovered 5 and even 6 once. So when I was playing Dragon, I put 5 cards back, make Archangel Rain. That's a 5/6 wards, attack into something and summon Gen Dragon, and then attack for 10, which is just feels incredibly powerful. It's just really good late game card. I don't know if it's like super good right now, but like I said, the whole time Tim's hand has not been too great. So Vincent's reading the card. Yeah, I don't blame him. It's brand new, and so is Vincent. So. Alright, so Tim is going to take his Shape-Shifting Mage and his, the Bell Ringer evolved, put them back into his deck, and so now he's going to go back up to 4 play points, so if Tim does have, he does have an Execution, so I think he has Ayala, Execution, double Forte in his hand. Not great, for sure, versus this matchup. You definitely want to see something like a Shenlong soon. So he's going to attack with the Archangel Range into the Skeleton Fighter. That Skeleton Fighter's done so much for Vincent this game. Taking out a Bell Ringer, done 4 damage. Very, very, good value out of it for sure. So now Tim passes on a 5/4 ward with Execution in hand. Not bad. I mean, it's about as best as you can do, for sure. Okay, so now Vincent draws a Soul Conversion. He goes up to 6 play points, and he's got some decisions to make. It looks like he's got Playful Necromancer, Phantom Howl, Goblin, Soul Conversion, and I forgot what that new card is called, but it's the one that has Strike. Both leaders take 1 damage, and then at the end phase, if you've taken damage this turn, you draw a card. But I should probably find out what that card is called. I should be a lot more prepared for this than I actually am, but whatever. Live editing done cheap. Okay, so Vincent is going to play the Phantom Howl, summons 4 ghosts. That card is so good. I know, I mean, it's not like crazy, but I don't know, man. 4 1/1 storms, especially after a Forte, it's just a little bit crazy. Okay, so he's gonna buff 1 ghost to 3/1.
3/1. Okay.
And I think he's thinking of. Oh man. Okay, so he's trading 1 ghost into the Reyna, which Vincent probably doesn't feel that great about. He's gonna trade another ghost into it, and then he's thinking here. So now he's probably hit 1 more time, get Tim down to 10. Tim's thinking about Execution. Oh, I guess Vincent is thinking about buffing that ghost to 3. Okay, so he's gonna buff that ghost to 3. Does Tim want to take it? That'd put him down to 8. That's very, very, very scary to think about. I think you probably, I mean, knowing that all the buffs are out of the way, I think I agree. I think since the buffs are out of the way, I think you definitely stop that ghost, which feels horrible, right? I mean, you have to Execution and go a card that's going to die at the end phase anyway. But now Vince's going to be able to swing for 1, put Tim at 10, Soul Conversion that away to draw 2 cards, and then he is going to be, let's see what he draws into. So he's going to draw into another Cerberus and another Phantom Howl. Oh my gosh, that is rough. This Goblin could have been on the board the whole time. So I wish that he had played it whenever he ended at 1. But it is what it is. Tim's draws return, and I think that's a Gen Dragon. Yeah, it looks like a Gen Dragon. Okay, so I did see this game live around this part, and I think, okay, so Tim is contemplating playing Forte. I think that he doesn't really have a lot of options. You got Gen Dragon, 2 Fortes, and an Ayala in his hand. It's super weak, especially when you're at 10. You're basically like, all right, well, you got, if you got game, you got game when it comes to the Abyss matchup. So he's gonna take the Forte, evolve it, and then swing for 7, leaving Tim. Tim is now at 2 play points. In my opinion, I think that what you probably end up doing here is probably
Okay.
dropping both of those Fortes instead, hitting Vincent for 10, putting him at 10. Because if you're putting Vincent on, kill, you have to have game. I have nothing, no defense anymore. Then I think you might as well go in with both Fortes and put Vincent on. If you don't kill me, I kill you, because then Tim can drop Gen Dragon on his next turn and swing for 10. So it's like it's kind of like I mean, hindsight's 20/20, obviously, but I think that when your hand is so weak and you're forced to go aggressive, probably best to just if you can set yourself up for squeezing one out like that, you probably should. So Vincent plays another Phantom Howl, which is just so devastating for them to resolve to, and in this kind of matchup, especially when you openly don't have a defense. I mean, as far as Vincent knows, Tim has 2 play points, so he can still be expecting maybe a Blazing Breath. Tries to pop or do 2 damage to the Cerberus, forgetting it has aura, meaning you can't target it. So, but he's still, I mean, after the Phantom Howl, still has 4 play points. So he's going to trade 3 ghosts. Those ghosts have been trading all day, for sure. He's going to attack with the Goblin, putting Tim down to 8. Attack with the Ghost, put Tim down to 7. And it looks like he's thinking about playing Demonic Hedonist, by the way, is the card in his hand that I couldn't remember. And so it looks like he's considering playing Ambling Wraith. I think you just kind of go wide here, I think. I mean, if he did not play... Yeah, if he didn't play, I don't know, something like a Fafnir last turn, I don't think he would have done it. Or I think he would have done it over just Evolving Forte, but who knows. So he plays Ambling Wraith, putting Tim down to 6 and Vincent down to 12. Both players getting really low. Maybe Tim's hoping that he can, hey, Razor Claw me or something, so that way you go down to 10, which would be really nice. That would be a really funny way to, steal this one. Okay, so he plays the playful Necromancer and passes. So he goes wide. I think that's what you need to do. He forgets that the ghost needs to go away, which is, I mean, doesn't matter. I think. Okay, so Tim rips a Shenlong. That is really good and can potentially put him back in the game here. So obviously you're going to play that really quick. Nothing to think about. Yeah, there we go. So he's going to go down to 4 play points, temporarily draws in Serpent Wraith and an Olivia. So the Olivia is a little bit, not too little too late yet, but the Serpent Wraith is nice for defense, but unfortunately, gosh, he really needed it to be like a Blazing Breath. Tim's draws in this game just not ever working in his favor. He needs a Blazing Breath because he needs to evolve the Shenlong. He needs to get that free health. I know the board says 712 right now, but the app, if you can see on Tim's phone, is actually 612. So he's going to evolve the Shenlong. I think you have to. So he's going to gain 5, put him back to 11, which is a nice, healthy, amount of health to have versus this matchup. So he's going to then attack over the Goblin, and then he's going to have to pass with no defense again outside of the Shenlong. But he's still got a 5-4 Shenlong. It's not bad. I mean, it might as well be a 5-2 because Vincent still has his token that does 2 damage. But I mean, yeah, I think Vincent has.
Yep.
He has the materials, I think, to go for game here. Oh my gosh, yeah, especially when he draws the. I forgot he draws the Razory Claw here. So he's gonna attack with the Ambling Wraith. He's gonna pop the Shenlong.
Ambling's dead though, right?
Okay. And then I think maybe he miscalculates here. Because I don't know that you... Okay, so yeah, I think that this was a point in the game where... Yeah. So, okay, so he plays Cerberus. I think Necrocharge might be active. He might need to count. I don't know if he has it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 cards exactly. So that means he gets both tokens out on the normal fanfare effect, and he's going to evolve to bring out the other 2. Looks like he brought out 2 of the buff of the buff too. I don't know if he's just skipping ahead and he's intending to evolve or something. I thought pretty sure Cerberus is like you bring out each of like one of each of them. I don't know if I don't know if it's like that you just bring out both of whatever you want. I'm gonna check on that to see. Let's see. Cerberus. Yeah, Necrocharge 10, it says put both in the EX area, not two of the same one. So that is actually not how that would work. You would have to evolve Cerberus to do that. I'm surprised that Tim didn't catch this, and I didn't notice this, I don't think, whenever this first came about. Well, okay, so Tim is down to 4 play points. That'll happen whenever you're new to the game. Okay, so I think that, you know, one way or another, he's going to... Okay, so he evolves the Forte anyway, right? Oh, sorry, the Cerberus anyway. I confuse those cards sometimes. So he's going to evolve the Cerberus, get out the tokens again. So he's going to get the buff 2 out and the -2. But yeah, so unfortunately that is a big mistake there, but happens. They're finally updating the health, so 4 to 12. And I'm gonna see here. I don't think he does anything. Okay, so I think he actually had lethal there with the Playful Necromancer and the Ambling Wraith. Even without that mistake, I think he should have been able to summon the Cerberus, get your tokens, evolve the Cerberus, get 2 more tokens, buff the Necromancer to 7. He would be able to crash the Cerberus into Shenlong, knocking out the Shenlong. If he swings with the Necromancer, that's 7. And then if he hits with Ambling Wraith, that's 9. Tim was at, I think he was at 11. Yeah, he was at 11. And then he just drew the Razor Claw. So he could have actually played the Razor Claw to finish off that line I just discussed. And that would have been 12 damage. Tim would have lost the game for sure. So now Tim's in a rough spot here. Regardless, I mean, it's unfortunate that misplay happened. Vincent should have killed him anyway, truthfully. But yeah, I mean, Tim just kind of not been drawing too great the entire time. So it looks like he's most likely just going to... Okay, so he's going to Serpent Wraith, the Cerberus, draw a card. So now Tim is at 7. Okay. And he's thinking now about playing that Zernitra he just drew. Yeah, just, you know, sometimes you have those games where you really need the curve to work in your favor, and it just doesn't. And then it happens, whatever, it happens. But that's definitely been the theme of Tim's deck so far today. So he is going to play that Zernitra. Probably bring out the dragon, trade into the Necromancer like he did on turn 5 for him, or turn 4 for him technically, because he ramped. And then he's just, I think he's just pretty much going to pass, unless, I mean, I guess he could drop the Forte and just swing for 4. Oh, sorry, for 5. And then put Vincent once again on, you know, better have game, which he will. He will figure it out. Okay, thinking here. Yeah, he's really trying to make sure that he doesn't like not miss lethal, but miss playing the best route that he could.
You have 2 points.
So you know, definitely it's helpful to have games like this where you can go back and look, because you know, like I just said earlier in the video, hindsight 2020. Oh, so he actually trades the Forte into the Necromancer and keeps the dragon up, and I think he does that because the dragon, it would have been at 1, and Vincent could have popped it anyway, so I get that. Okay, so Tim is put at 1 now because he just Razor Clawed, and I mean, yeah, Vincent has games in two ways here. He can play the Hedonist, which has the strike to deal 1 damage to both leaders, or he can just play Trick Doulahan, bring out the ghost that comes out, and then attack for game. But Tim has no play points left. So that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, Epic does box tournaments every single Tuesday and they are gracious enough to let me watch the videos and review them. So if you guys want to see more videos just like this, let me know. That's all I got for you guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.